Welcome to Level 1 of the Performance Physical Therapy Joint Academy. This instructional exercise video is to serve a purpose of teaching you some flexibility and stretching exercises, some strengthening exercises, and some balancing exercises. We'll go through and show you 10 different exercises and 3 modifications for each exercise so that you can find a combination that best fits you. So let's get started. Our first exercise, we're going to focus on stretching our quadricep muscle, this muscle in the front of the leg. So what we're going to do is standing, we're going to grab our ankle and we're going to lift towards our heel. Our goal is to hold this stretch for 30 to 60 seconds, trying to get as close to 60 seconds as possible. We should feel that pull in the front of the leg here, but it should be a comfortable stretch, a pulling sensation, not pain. If that's challenging and you're unable to do that, see if you can find yourself a towel or something that will act as an extension or an aid for you, where you can wrap it around your ankle and work to pull up towards your bottom here. So we pull the leg up, getting that stretch, 30 to 60 seconds, 2 repetitions on each leg. So do one, switch to the other leg. Our third modification for the quad stretch is sitting in a chair. We're going to place our left leg in front of our right, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to slide our heel back. We're going to hold 30 to 60 seconds, trying to do 2 repetitions as well. From that position, we are then going to change to our hamstring stretch. So we did our quad stretch. This is exercise 2, our hamstring stretch. One way to do that, sitting in a chair, go to the edge of the chair, legs out straight, we're up nice and tall, we're bending forward till we feel a pull in this muscle here, and we're going to hold for 30 to 60 seconds, take a break, switch to the other side. We'll do 2 repetitions on each side. If you're unable to do that version of the exercise, this is a stretch out strap. It's a great tool that we have to control our stretching a little bit better. It has nice loops in there so we can modify it. But anything that you can use to strap around your foot. So an instance here, I'm going to place this around my left foot. Lying down, I'm going to bring both legs straight, and I'm going to use my hands to pull my leg up as straight as I can, holding the stretch 30 to 60 seconds. Come down, rest, do it again, 2 times on each side. If we're unable to do that, we're going to place this behind our knee, and we're going to extend our leg up. So here, we have this behind our thigh, we straighten our leg up, we're going to hold that stretch here, 30 to 60 seconds, 2 times on each side. Next, we're going to perform a test. So we're going to work on stretching this muscle just below the knee. So standing up nice and tall, we're going to bring one leg behind us. Our leg is straight, our foot is flat. We're going to hold this position so we get a nice stretch just below the knee. 30 to 60 seconds, switch, and go to the other side. Perfect. Another version of that can be done with a step. So at home, if you have a step, a threshold, or a stair, I don't recommend a step stool, although I will use it for this demonstration, just because a step stool can sometimes be a little wobbly. But on the edge of a step, the balls of our feet are going to be right on the step. We're just going to drop our heels down till we feel that pull in our calf here. 30 to 60 seconds. You only need to do 2 repetitions on that one because you're doing them both at the same time. Our third modification for our third stretch is placing a strap, using our trusty stretch out strap or towel. You just have to make sure it's not something that has a give to it. A lot of times we'll get asked in the clinic, would an elastic band or so work? Would the resisted bands? No, you need something that's firm that's going to allow you to stretch the calf here. 30 to 60 seconds, 2 repetitions on each side. Okay, so there's our 3 stretches that are going to focus on improving the mobility of the knee. If we improve the mobility of the knee, we're now going to reinforce and teach the body how to use that motion that we've gained. So our best way to do that is with our first exercise. We're going to wake those muscles up a little bit. So grab a towel, roll it up. Doesn't have to be perfect, just going to be under there. We're going to place it under our knee here. And what we're going to do is, in this position, we're going to tighten our quad muscle. Tighten this muscle nice and tight. We're going to hold for 10 seconds, pushing the back of the knee down into our towel, and relax. And we will do it again. And we'll hold for 10 times, 10 seconds. That's a great way to wake up this quad muscle in the front of our leg. So now that we've got that muscle active, what we're going to do is work to strengthen this. So laying back down in a similar position, we're going to have our leg straight, this knee bent, and we're going to lift here, right to the height of our other leg, and then back down. Up and down for 10 repetitions. You'll feel this in the front of the hip here. That's okay, that's a good thing. It may be challenging to get your 10 repetitions at first. Maybe you take a little bit longer of a break between repetitions. That's okay. The key here is we keep the knee nice and straight, this muscle's tight, and we control the motion. Think about your pace. I tell people about 4 seconds for each repetition. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Now that's a challenging exercise. So if you can't get there, don't worry. There's ways to build towards it. And our first one, or our first modification, is standing. Let's just kick out straight this way. So we're still activating that same muscle, but gravity's not working quite as much against us. 3 sets of 10 repetitions. Then, our third modification could just be marching in place. Coming up this way. We're still activating those muscles, but we don't have quite as long of a lever arm. 3 sets of 10 repetitions, do 10 one side, 10 the other, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay. Now we're going to work our glute muscles here, these muscles behind our hip. They keep us upright, they control our knee motion, they play a big role in everyday function. So here, lying down, we're going to lift our pelvis right up, and then right back down. Up and down. 3 sets of 10 repetitions. Next, standing, what I'd like to do is stand up nice and tall. If we can't do our bridge, we're still going to activate those muscles by kicking back, like so. 3 sets of 10 repetitions. Do one side, then the other. And our third version of that, or our modification, would be simply what we call a glute set. So laying down here, what I'm doing is I'm just going to focus on tightening my glute muscles and relaxing. Tightening and relaxing. Sometimes if we haven't been using those muscles properly for a while, our body isn't familiar with how to use them. This is a great beginner way to start to get those muscles active. So that's our strengthening exercise for the back of the hip. Next, we're going to work on knee bending. Right? We work to stretch that knee to make sure we have that motion. So now what we're going to do is teach our body how to use it. So standing, we're just bending the knee up. 3 sets of 10 repetitions. If we're unable to tolerate that, what we're going to do is lay on our stomachs here, and we're going to bend the knee up, really try and squeeze this hamstring at the end of the motion, and then come back down. Up and down. 3 sets of 10 repetitions. If we're unable to tolerate the standing one, or we can't tolerate laying on our stomach, our next version would be to lay on our back, and we're just going to work on bringing our heel this way. So we have the support of the table. Sometimes it's helpful to place like a pillowcase, or if I have my towel here, I can place it right under my heel. Just allows me to slide a little bit easier. Back and forth. 3 sets of 10 repetitions. You can also, for this exercise, use some support. So if you have some trouble, you can use your arms to help assist. by using strap of some sort. 3 sets, 10 reps, just like the others. Okay, next up, we're going to work on strengthening these hip muscles. So we're going to work on the outside of the hip, a very important muscle that keeps our pelvis from dropping down or keeps us stable while walking. You'll often see, some people will walk and they'll kind of have this side-to-side motion. It's because of weakness in these outside hip muscles. So what we're going to do is laying on our side, extend this leg out, and lift the leg up. 3 sets of 10. The key is to keep our leg right in line with our body, and we'll feel this in the outside of our hip. Again, another fairly challenging exercise, but don't worry, there's a modification if you can't do that one. So standing by a counter, you're up nice and tall or using a chair. We're going to kick it out to the side this way. 3 sets of 10. If we're unable to tolerate that, our final version will be wrapping a strap around our knees. So we have something nice and tight here. If we pull it, it pulls ourselves together. We can use a towel, a belt, a strap. What we're going to work is just a push as hard as we can if we're trying to break that strap to the outside. That activates these muscles. It's called an isometric strengthening exercise. What you're going to do is 3 sets of 10 repetitions that way. All right, we're almost there. We're through 8 exercises. Now we're going to get into 2 of my favorites. The first one is a squat. The squat is one of the most important exercises anyone can do. And what we're going to do is we're going to get our feet shoulder width apart. So our feet are as wide as our shoulder here. We're going to have our arms out straight. And we're going to do a squat. Now, I like to put a chair behind me for 2 reasons. One, it gives me a target. A lot of times we tend to squat and lean forward. This gives me a target to stay back, putting my weight through my whole foot, not just my toes, not just my heels, keeping my weight through my whole foot. The second purpose it serves is if I get out and I feel a little unstable, I can't get out of this position, I can just sit down in that chair. Okay, so we're going to perform our version 1 of our squat. It's here, I'm not all the way down to the chair, and I'm coming right back up. So it's just an air squat here, keeping our torso up nice and straight, our knees pointed straight forward, and our butt right towards the seat. Now that can be challenging. So if it is, turn your chair around, hold on to the chair, and use it for some support. And 3 sets of 10 repetitions that way. Now, if that's still giving us trouble, we can modify. So we have the chair behind us. We're going to go into a squat and go all the way to sitting down. This allows us to get a break in between each repetition and then come back up. Now, it also allows us, make sure you have a chair with arms, to use our arms to assist us through that motion. So it's here to here. 3 sets of 10 repetitions. And finally, as our last exercise, what we're going to do is standing up nice and tall, we're going to work on our balance. So now that we've got the flexibility, we've got the strength, we're going to work on the stability. And the best way to work on balance is to challenge it. So what you're going to do is you're going to stand on one leg and try and maintain this for 20 seconds. So doing 3 repetitions for 20 seconds. Now you may find you have to tap down in between. I also recommend having that chair available. And that way if you need to use a chair or a counter just to get some feedback, try and do it without it, but it's there for support for you. Our modification of that is a tandem stance, having a heel-to-toe stance with one foot in front of the other, like so. So here we're up nice and tall, foot's in a straight line, we're trying to hold 20 seconds, 3 repetitions. If that's challenging, well, we're not quite there yet, what we're going to do is start here, and if this is too challenging, I can't let go, I don't have that stability, I'm going to widen my foot a little bit and see if I can maintain it there. As that gets easier, I'm going to continue to bring my foot to the midline as close as I can until I can modify this. Once I feel I can do this 3 times for 20 seconds, I'll go back to that first one of standing on one leg. 3 times, 20 seconds. Those 10 exercises will help us improve our flexibility. It'll help us improve our strength, and it'll help us improve our balance. All key components on moving better and being in less pain and getting you back to doing those things you want to do, better, faster. Thank you.